Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So today I'm going to tell you guys a sakhi about Bhagat Pipa Ji. Their Gurbani is in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. There's 15 Bhagats whose Gurbani is in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And we give them the same exact respect as we would give Guru Sahib Ji. I think we've talked about a few Bhagats already. You guys have probably figured out the theme for camp, which is the Bhagats. So we'll talk about Bhagat Pipa Ji. So Bhagat Pipa Ji, they were already known as a great saint. They'd done a lot of bhakti in their life. Many people would come meet them, and they would go to many places to tell people about Vaheguru as well. In the morning, they would go to Ashnan. So now when you guys want to wake up and you have to shower, you just go to the washroom. There's water right there, and you can shower in your house. But back then, this was a long, long, long time ago. They would have to go to where the Sarovar was, where there's water, a lake, and they'd wake up in the morning and go to Ashnan by the Sarovar. Because they're a Bhagat, they get tested every day, just like how we do. Every day we get tested by Vaheguru. The first test that Guru Sahib gives us every day is Amrit Vela. Are we going to wake up for Amrit Vela or not? Once we wake up, are we going to do our Nityanim or not? Then Guru Sahib sends tests all day. Are we going to be, like if we get really yummy food, if we get an option of eating like really sugary cereals, or are we going to eat Sadda Langar, are we going to have plain Miste Prashad Day or something like that? All day you get tested by Guru Sahib. And the Bhagats were no different. They would also get tested, but their tests were a lot harder because they were at an avastha where they could handle harder tests. And so one day when they went to do Ishnan, there was a pot in front of their, right before they went to do Ishnan, there was no pot. And then when they came out, there was a pot. And they looked at the pot and they said, this pot is full of jad, poison. And they just knew this. They didn't look inside the pot, they didn't do anything. But the reality was this pot had money in it. So they thought that money, the way they see Maya, which is what a lot of Gursevaks call money Maya, it's something that takes you away from Vaheguru Ji. The reason why is because if you have too much money, we start to get this, Bhagat, we get greed, lobh. There are many Mahapurukhs and sons though, when they get so much money, the first thing they try to do is spend it on the Sangat, try to do good. But for Aam Sangat, for Aam people, when we see money, we immediately think, can I buy something else? What new thing can I get? Can I get yummier food? That's what we start to think. So that's why it's Maya for us still. We still get greedy. And so Bhagat Pipa Ji, they said that this is Maya Jarya. So they left it there, they didn't touch it, because Vaheguru had sent that as a test. They went home to their house and they talked to their wife. They told their wife that there's a pot in front of the Sarovar. Make sure that you don't touch that pot. It's poison. If you touch it, but what they had said was, they had said it's full of Maya. And their wife was at an avastha as well, that she understood that Maya is like poison. So they didn't say it was poison, but they said it was Maya. But there was these thieves that were listening. And when they heard Maya, obviously they think money. And so they're like, we're gonna go steal that pot of money. But when they went, so for Bhagati, Maya, which is like just money, they were like, that's a poison, right? Poisonous snake. But they call it Maya. For the thieves, even though it was actually full of gold, when they opened it, an actual poisonous black snake came out of it. And they got really scared. So they opened it, and they see the poisonous snake, and they quickly close it, and they get really angry at Bhagati. Then why did Bhagati try to trick us? They did this on purpose. They wanted to hurt us. They said it loudly so that people around them, like we would, hear. And they wanted to kill us. They were doing something evil. That's what these thieves started to think. So now what they did was, they picked up the pot and they put it right in front of Bhagat Pipa Ji's house. Now when Bhagat Pipa Ji woke up the next day, they see the pot again and they go, maybe this is a different type of test. This Maya, Guru Sahib ne aise karke bhej diya kyunki they want me to do seva with this Maya. And now when they open that same pot that was supposed to yesterday had a snake in it, now there was so much gold in there. And money and jewels. Because now they were able to transfer that Maya into money so they could do seva. Every single morning, Bhagat Pipa Ji would open their door and there would be a pot in front of their house, full of gold. And every morning, they would go to the dukan, the store, and they would buy food, clothes, they would get water, and they would go give it to all the sangat in the band and the village, and they would do seva. This is the difference between a Gurmukh's akh and a Manmukh's akh. For a Manmukh, when they see a pot of Maya, it turns into jad. when a Gurmukh sees a pot of Maya, if they see it as something that's going to take them away from Guru Sahib, they're going to see it as jad, poison. But if they see it as an opportunity to do seva, then it stays into gold and they go to do seva of it. Does that make sense? These are the types of miracles that could happen with only Bhagats. Bhagat Pipa ji became really well known at that point because everybody in the village found out about the story. That Bhagat Pipa ji keeps getting money in front of their house, and that they were able to turn money into a snake and then back into money. And so everybody started to want to come meet Bhagat ji. Just like today when so many sants and Gyani Singhs and Gurmukh Singhs come to Toronto, everybody goes like, let's go meet the Sangat. Just like every Sunday you guys come to the Gurdwara, you guys come to meet Guru Sahib too, but you also come to have darshan of the Sangat. It's the same thing. Back then everybody wanted to have darshan of Bhagat Pipa ji as well. And so the king at that time, a king is can go one or both ways. The king can either get really evil because they're really rich, or a king can be very kind and use their money to serve their community. This king happened to be a great Sikh, a great saint. And so he told Bhagat Pipa ji, he said, I want to be your student. And Bhagat Pipa ji laughed. They said, you can't be my student. You are so used to living in a beautiful castle, riding such beautiful horses, having yummy food all the time, and wearing beautiful clothes. The life of a Bhagat, those who want to live this path of Vaheguru and live a path of God, is not an easy path. We have to choose to eat simpler food. We have to choose to wear simpler clothes. And sometimes when we go to visit people and tell them about Vaheguru, we don't have a place to rest. Yes, Bhagat Pipa ji had their own house, but when they traveled to tell people about Vaheguru, not every time was everybody like, I love Bhagat ji, I want to respect Bhagat ji. Some places they would go and people wouldn't respect Bhagats. And so some days they wouldn't have a place to rest. They tell the king that you're not capable of handling this lifestyle. To live a life of Sikhi is hard. To live a life of a godly saint is hard. And Bhagat ji, the king kept saying, no Bhagat ji, I promise you, I will dedicate my life to Vaheguru. I will dedicate my life to God. I will give up everything you tell me to. Just take me on as your student. Because the only way to truth is through God, not through going life as a king. And Bhagat ji finally said, okay, fine. But if you do this, you have to leave everything behind. You have to leave your castle, you have to leave your family, you have to leave all this yummy food and money. And you have to come stay with me in my tiny little hut, and we have to do bhakti. We only have to focus on Vaheguru. And so the king stayed with Bhagat ji for many years doing this. And then Bhagat ji said, Shabash, now you've understood the purpose of this life, to do bhakti. You gained many virtues, all the good qualities you can have of satta, santokh, pyar, nimrata, khima, all these virtues of kindness, love, forgiveness, these are Vaheguru gave them to you. You get these through Gurbani, you get these through Seva, you get these through Sangat. Once the king had learned these virtues, the Bhagat ji sent the king back to his castle. Said, now that you have the qualities of a saint, go and rule your people. Use all of your riches, use your big castle and serve the people with kindness and love. The same way we wouldn't want Guru Sahib to be hidden, right? We ask Guru Sahib to come forward and tell us about Vaheguru, tell us about Sikhi. The same way with saints. Once they do lots of bhakti, they come back into Sangat and they start to tell us things about Vaheguru. If they had stayed hidden, we wouldn't know about all these stories. And from that day, the king continued to do seva of the Sangat. Bhagat Pipa ji, even again, another story is when they're by the water, so the king gave Bhagat Pipa ji a horse, a very beautiful Arabian, rich, black horse. Very expensive horse. And Bhagat Pipa ji didn't really care, right? Like the Bhagats don't really care about if they have expensive things or not. They said, I don't need this. But the king gave it with so much prem that Bhagat ji accepted this beautiful horse. And when they tied the horse by the river, they went to do Ishnan. Those same thieves who tried to hurt Bhagat ji in the beginning of the story, they were still angry. They didn't learn their lesson. They took the horse. They stole it. And Bhagat Pipa ji, again, you have to remember they're a saint. They know everything. Just like how Vaheguru knows everything. They literally saw, they were in the water, and they watched the thieves steal their horse. They said, Chalo koi na, like they need it. Nothing's mine at the end of the day. Sometimes we lose things, right? Or we forget things. We think, oh no, I lost my phone, or I lost my money, or I lost my this. But it's not ours in the first place. If Guru Sahib ne ditta hai. If Guru Sahib wants it back, they get it back. Right? So Bhagat ji said it's okay, unhone Lord si, the Guru Sahib took the horse back now. But the funny thing is, Vaheguru will always protect those saints. Somehow, that horse that thieves stole, it got loose and it walked right back to Bhagat Pipa ji's house. And Bhagat Pipa ji got the horse again. So that's the thing about Bhagats. When you live a life of Gursikhi and you live a life of truth, anything can be taken away from you. Even to other people, it might seem horrible. Imagine, Bhagat Pipa ji, it's like their car got stolen, right? The horse. Somebody else, if our car got stolen, you probably even know people whose car got stolen here in Brampton. Everybody's cars are getting stolen, right? So here, you hear people, oh, meri gaddi kisne chori kar di, right? Like people are crying, they're sad, or they get into an accident, their car is gone. And they cry and they get so sad. But Bhagat ji, they're like, jo bhi hukam si, wo hukam si. Whatever Guru Sahib wanted, that happened. And still the horse came back. Guru Sahib will send you an even better car. Guru Sahib will send you something even greater. But we have to live the life of a saint. Live the life of good Gursikhs, where we live truly with no lying, being nice, being kind. So there's two morals for that. That's the first moral. The beginning one is, Maya can be a dangerous thing. Money. One, it can make us evil. It can make us greedy. It can make us do bad things like even steal. That's why we call Maya Maya. Because it can actually make us do wrong things. But as Gursikhs, when if you live like a Gursikh, money will always come to you, and you will have no issues because that money, the first thing you're going to think is, how can I serve the Sangat with this money? Some of you guys are old enough to have jobs, some of you are very young, but you will all have jobs one day in your life. When you get your money, I hope the first thing you think is, how can I give this back to Guru Sahib? You guys are very lucky that there's many ways to do seva. Ikta, you can give it into like these classes, to buy the kade. So many parents here do things like that. Or you can give the money to the Gurdwara to buy atta. Or you can give your time. You don't have to just give money, but you don't have money right now, you're little. What can you give to Guru Sahib? You can give your time, you can do seva. You can read Bani, that's also giving something to Guru Sahib. Or you can do things like do langar di seva. Or you can give money in shelters. There's so many places for you guys to do seva. You have many opportunities. Bhave $2 or $200 or $2,000. All of this is an opportunity to do seva. So that's two things. We have to make sure we know that Maya can be dangerous, but it can also be a great opportunity to do seva. So that's the sadhki that I had for you guys today. Moni's Benji is going to do Bhakti job, and then we just have a few announcements after class.
Okay, so the Bhakti today, let's say Sob, Jetavani, Das, Tumari, Rakhahi, Paj, Das, Apane, Ki, Karaj, Aape, Savari. So what is Guru Sahib Ji telling us here? This is Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji's Bani. Guru Sahib Ji is telling us that how are the thoughts of Guru Sahib Ji's das, their slaves, their Bhagats, right? Those who give everything to Maharaj, what are their thoughts like? They're sob, they're shubh, they're pure thoughts, right? So whatever they think about, they have pure thoughts. Whatever they have, they remember Vaheguruji in it all the time. For example, Bhagaji tells us when we have our car, we don't say this is my car, we say this is Tan Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji's car. This is Tan Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji's house, right? I have these friends, these are friends that Guru Sahib Ji gave me. And when we start relating everything to Guru Sahib Ji, then our thoughts automatically start to become more pure, because you think that, if this is Guru Sahib Ji's money, right, I'm not going to do anything bad with it, right? I'm going to use it for seva. It's Guru Sahib Ji's money. Why would I do anything bad with it? Right? So just like Bhagat Pipa ji, like they would use the money that they got to do seva. They had pure thoughts. They would think, how can I use this money to do paropkar, to do good for others? Okay? Rakha paj das apone ki karaj aape savare. And Guru Sahib Ji, those Gursikhs who have such pure thoughts, right? Guru Sahib Ji takes care of them, right? They preserve their honor. Like the thief tried to steal their horse, right? What did Guru Sahib Ji do? Karaj aape savare. They took care of that task. They got the horse back, right? So when we just try to focus on having pure thoughts and remembering Guru Sahib Ji and thinking of how we can help others, all of our jobs and everything else that needs to be done gets done by itself. Okay? Before we start job, I have a very important question. How many people do you think are in this room right now? How much Sangat is there? What do you think? 100. Okay. 80, okay? Maybe something like that. 70, 80, 90, something like that, okay? All right, keep your guesses to yourself, but we should hear about that many voices, okay? Including parents, right? And ਆਪਾਂ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ time ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਣਾ, ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, right? We're sitting here anyway, right? So let's use that time. Every single second of our life should be given to Guru Sahib Ji, right? Mataji tells us ਆਪਾਂ ਲੇਖਾ ਦੇਣਾ, right? Like every single second of our life, let's make it count towards Guru Sahib Ji. But at least in this time we have here for sure, right? Where that's what we're supposed to be doing. Let's all focus and sing the shabd. We'll try to do a little bit shorter, like a few words at a time, okay? And we'll try to repeat it, but let's have everybody singing loudly. Tika ji? Sob chit bane das tumhare, 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 राखहि पैज दास अपने की, 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 कारज आपे सवारे, कारज आपे सवारे, कारज आपे सवारे, कारज आपे सवारे, सोप चित बने दास तुम्हारे, 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 राखहि पैज दास अपने की, 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 कारज आपे सवारे, कारज आपे सवारे, कारज आपे सवारे, कारज आपे सवारे, सोप चित बने दास तुम्हारे, 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 राखहि पैज दास अपने
last class for the summer. And also one of our teachers, they're not here today, but they've been teaching you guys since we started here. Navneet Fendi, one of those teachers over there in Moharni and here. Their wedding's at Guelph Gurdwara on Saturday. So she did beinti to all the Sangat, all the students to please come give your darshan at Guelph Gurdwara on Saturday. We'll send the poster in the group chat again. And if any parents are not in the Sunday group chat, the gym and jock group chat, you guys can let us know. We'll add you to the group. So now we'll start class. Next week we'll have class, and then we're not gonna have Sunday classes until September. I think it's September 7th. And yeah, so next week make sure you guys all come. And then if you, don't worry for Sunday classes, we will still have gym and job. So gym and job is gonna happen every Thursday still at Sandalwood Heights Secondary School. And we're not in the back backfield anymore. We're in the front field. You'll find us now, because some of us came last week. So just look for the stars, and then you'll find us. We're closer to the park area now, okay? So we'll see you guys on Thursday gym and job at 6 o'clock, and then next week's our last Sunday class until September, okay? Forgive us for any mistakes we made. Sada sada ihupulun haru, nanak rakhan haru paru. You guys can have break. We'll see you guys at work for Kirtan and Tabla. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.